ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
The Louie T Network is powered by the Card Collector Series. Join me, your man, Louie T, on my journey back into the card collecting space with the Card Collector Series on YouTube. Link is in the description.
Who could it be? With me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Super Bowl 56 coverage, overtime. Look, everything's scatterbrained here. I couldn't get my computer to work with my camera, so I'm on my phone. I know it's probably like a hostage video, but I had to come up here after what was a really good Super Bowl and talk to you guys and chop it up. So my initial thoughts, first of all, congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm really happy for Sean McVay. Once family, always family, as I tell you guys. I wanted to see Sean get one. I knew he wanted it bad. They mortgaged the future to try to get this done, and they got it done. So kudos to him and the jobs he's done since taking over as the Rams head coach. I'm really happy for Aaron Donald. I think he might win MVP. He'll have a shot along with Cooper Kupp, who was also outstanding in this game. And I'm probably the happiest, though, for Matthew Stafford. You know, the narrative out there on him was couldn't win the big game. He's a stat pattern. You know, all those years out there in Detroit, he's doing some really good things. You just never knew about it because of, you know, his situation. And he wasn't great tonight. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 interceptions and he missed some throws that he should have made. But when the game was on the line, and it's the thing that everybody said, he can't make the plays, he can't win you a game. Well, okay, they take Odell Beckham away from you. Don't have your top tight end target. They take your second tight end target away. And you're essentially left with Cooper Kupp and a bunch of guys. Vince Sporadic. And how about the game turned in by the former Purdue product at the tight end position, Hopkins, man. I mean, Bryson Hopkins was outstanding in this game. So, I mean, he's getting the football to the running back out of the backfield because there was no run game for which to speak of. Got to give Cincinnati credit for absolutely stymieing the run game and forcing Matthew Stafford to essentially have to win this game on his own. So, was there a call or two at the end of this game that was somewhat controversial? You damn right there was. But guess what? How about T. Higgins essentially taking Jaylen Ramsey and throwing him down on the ground and having nothing called there, and that's a touchdown to start the second half? Again, the football gods usually even these things up. So for anybody who wants to complain and cry about the penalties at the end of the game, you got a whole gift to start the second half. The only touchdown that you would score in the second half. Okay? As a matter of fact, the only point you would score, no, you got a field goal. You got another field goal after the interception that Stafford gifted you. You only were able to get a field goal out of that. But the football gods even the score. And I thought that the holding penalty actually occurred on the play before the one they called him on Logan Wilson. I thought that was a ticky tack. But I thought the play before when Stafford tried to check it down to the running back over the middle of the field, Henderson, I thought he was being molested by the linebacker there. What's my man name from NC State? Can't think of his damn name. I thought he was being molested on that play. I thought that could have been holding. So they essentially threw the flag on the next play, and that one was a little question. That would have brought up 4th down, and that would have been, you know, essentially the game on the line there. Instead, you get a 1st and goal, and so yeah, that was definitely a sketchy call. But I thought the holding took place the play before. I definitely thought the Eli Apple one was pass interference, holding, you call whatever the hell you want. It was a clear penalty. So it was clearly a penalty. So at the end of the day, it was a well-played game. I thought the officials, for the most part, stayed out of the way, allowed these guys to try to determine the outcome of this game on the field. I thought it was a well-officiated game. And hats off to the Bengals for giving it a run. But I told my dad, I said, they're going to lose this game just like they've been winning games. Because usually they were in the spot the Rams were in, down late in the game, and Joe Burrow takes them down the field, whether it's the 4th overtime or, you know, the outright win and give them a chance to take the lead and then hold on to it. This is the spot that they've been in all playoffs. We're, you know, generally down, except for wild card weekend with the Raiders, where they were literally the ones holding on to that lead and having to stop the Raiders from getting into the end zone to preserve the victory. Outside of that, Titans game, you know, that game was tied with the Titans having the football, and then the interception was thrown, and then they got a chance to win on a walk-off. Same thing with the Chiefs game. They were trailing in that game for much of the game. They come roaring back, take the lead, and that game ultimately goes to overtime after the Chiefs, seemingly who had an opportunity to win in the regulation, didn't. So they had constantly been in this situation where they were down or they were having to come from behind. They had the lead. They were the ones with an opportunity to put it away defensively, and they just simply could not do it. The offense kind of went stagnant after the second turnover by Stafford led to that field goal. They really didn't do anything in the second half offensively. Jamar Chase went to sleep, and none of the other guys really stepped up. And again, credit the Rams defense, but some of that is also on Joe Burrow, who I did not think had a great game. I mean, think about the very first 4 down of the game, and he misses a wide open T. Higgins trying to force it to Jamar Chase. And me and my dad were talking, and it just felt like he predetermined that he was going to Jamar Chase on that 4th and whatever it was, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, whatever that was on the opening possession game that gave the Rams great field position, and the Rams turned that into a touchdown. He was wide open in the flats. Like, what are you doing? And so I just thought he missed some throws. He made some decisions that I'm sure he would love to have back. He missed some throws in this game. And he got bailed out. Jamar Chase with a one-hand grab down the field, the deep ball on Jaylen Ramsey. He got bailed out on the third down throw to Jamar Chase where he throws it behind him and Chase has to one-handed and it kind of catches it in stride one-handed as he's reaching back behind him to catch it on the little wide receiver screen. So the swing screen that they threw to Chase out of the backfield. So I didn't think Burrow was all that sharp in this game. He did not play his best game. I think some of the nerves of the game itself kind of got to him, and that's not the first time I've really seen Joe Burrow have the game and the nerves kind of get to him. This goes all the way back to college at LSU. He was always unfazed by the moment, and even this playoffs, he's been unfazed by the moment. But I thought that the moment kind of got to him a bit in this football game, and I actually thought the Bengals probably could have run it more. They were having success with Joe Mixon on the ground. I'm a huge advocate. I'll never blame a team like Cincinnati, like Kansas City, like Buffalo, like the Chargers. When you got a starting quarterback the way those teams do, I'll rarely blame you for putting the ball in the hands of your quarterback. Let that guy cook. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to really get on them too much about the fact that they didn't run it enough, even though they were averaging over 4 yards a pop. I thought they could have run it a little bit more because they were having success, and when Burrow started to struggle a little bit in the second half and things weren't really going his way, they were constantly backed up. The Rams were squandering great field position, but they kept hitting them inside their own 20, and then the pressure started to come in the second half, and Burrow started to take sacks and went from that offensive line holding up the first half of this game, Burrow getting it out of his hands quickly, to then them not being able to get anything going, not to be able to protect Joe Burrow. And it was a struggle for them in the second half. He ended up getting sacked 7 times in the game, did Burrow. And that was the thing that I thought, and I told you guys, I really wanted to get in depth with why I thought the Rams were going to win this game. And that was the reason, and I think I told you guys that on the podcast, that the main reason I thought the Rams were going to win this game is because their ability to get to the quarterback was going to overpower that Bengals front that was really one of the weaknesses of that offense. And they did their best to double Aaron Donald in the first half, but eventually you knew that they weren't going to be able to continue to have success protecting Burrow the entire game. And it started to really show itself in the second half as that Rams pass rush was able to start to really dominate, get to Burrow, force them off the field on third downs, get them into some long down and distance situations, and get the ball back to the Rams. And again, they kept having opportunities with great field positioning. And again, credit the Bengals defense. Really, the Bengals defensively, they came out, they set the tone. I thought they were the reasons the Bengals had a chance to win. And then when they needed them the most, they weren't able to get the job done. But the fact of the matter is, it's hard to win a game when you don't score more than 20 points. It's just tough. And I get it, it's the postseason, but you need your offense to step up and score more than 20 points. And really, you were gifted 3 of those points with the Stafford interception. And I've talked about this before. I've said this many a times. In this league, if you want to win games, touchdowns win games. Field goals don't win games, touchdowns do. You keep selling field goals, you're going to ultimately lose. The Bengals had to settle for a field goal on their first points of the game. That was a golden opportunity to get in the end zone. They had to settle for a field goal. They had to settle for a field goal after the great field position, after the Chidobe Awuzie interception. These are the types of plays and situations that lose you ball games. You have to find the end zone. They failed to do so on multiple occasions, and because of that, they ultimately lose the game. Think about this. Had they gotten another touchdown after the Chidobe Awuzie interception and pushed that lead out to, I think at that time, they had taken the lead. It was 17-13. Then they go up 11 at 24-13. Who thinks the Rams are going to win this game? I don't, personally. As you can see, points were hard to come by for the Rams in this game. And once Odell Beckham Jr., shame on you if you took the old dirty Beckham, and you feel for him. You know what I mean? Glad that he's able to call himself a champion, but you feel for him because he was having a hell of a game already. This is the moment that he envisioned himself being in. He gets the opportunity, and he's showing all the naysayers and the doubters and the people that said he was washed when he left Cleveland, that it was Cleveland, it wasn't me. And then he goes down, and who doesn't think that thing's a torn ACL again? Like, I feel almost 100% confident. I can't say 100 because I'm no doctor and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. But I'm 95% sure he just tore that ACL in that same knee. So that's unfortunate for him. But once he went down, I knew the points would be hard to come by, because if I'm the Bengals and I'm Lou Amarillo, I am essentially saying Cooper Kupp is not going to beat me. Somebody else, Bryson Hopkins, Van Jefferson, and Ben Skoranek, they're going to have to beat me. It's not going to be Cooper Kupp. Well, guess who still beat him? The best part of waking up, the Rams Cooper Kupp. Got him again anyway, and if you ask me, he should be the game's MVP. Don't know who got the MVP trophy. I'm pretty sure you guys know already, but I have no clue. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's either Aaron Donald or Cooper Kupp. And my guess and my money's on Cooper Kupp with the 2 touchdown grabs, including the game winner. And he deserves it. He gets the big 4th down run to keep that drive alive that they ultimately scored the touchdown on. He had the touchdown early in the game. He catches another touchdown, gets hit, easily could have gotten concussed. I'm surprised they didn't make him leave the field after that hit, because it took him a long time to get up. That one doesn't count. They come back, they do it again, and he ends up getting another touchdown. So if you're asking me who the MVP deserves to be, I say it's Cooper Kupp. But a valiant effort by the Bengals. I told you, generally these types of underdog stories don't usually end in that team winning the Super Bowl. Like we talked about this. For me, their season reminded me a lot of the Arizona Cardinals with Kurt Warner, and how that was a storybook book season. Oh my God, where did these Cardinals come from? Come out of nowhere, get all the way to the Super Bowl. They look like they're about to win it, and Ben Roethlisberger takes the Steelers on that drive, and then San Antonio Holmes toe catch back in the end zone. So this kind of felt like that kind of season. Like, yeah, it's going to be a cute story, but it doesn't end the way that Bengals fans wanted to. And it's a shame, because it's the 3rd time the Bengals have made it to the Super Bowl, and all 3 of them have pretty much ended in heartbreak, kind of like this. And it's amazing, because I was talking to my dad, because my sisters were watching the game, and they're like, "Oh, he'll be back." They're a young team, and that's why they were rooting for the Rams, because Burrow will have many more opportunities. But for Stafford, who knows how many times he's gonna have a chance to do this, and Aaron Donald and Odell Beckham, and I was like, Joe Burrow may never get back here. Like, the reality of the situation is there's no guarantees in this thing. Dan Marino, and I always love to bring this up, because in his second year, much like Joe Burrow, Dan Marino got to the Super Bowl in his second season, and everybody thought that, oh man, this is the first of probably 4 or 5 trips for Dan Marino in his career. This guy's amazing. He never made it back to the Super Bowl. And when you look at that conference, and you see Josh Allen, you see Patrick Mahomes, you see Justin Herbert, you say, hey, this shit is not a guarantee. And there's some other young boys that may get their shit together, and Zach Wilson with the Jets and Trevor Lawrence with the Jags. You just don't know what it's going to end up being out there in the AFC, it's going to be tough sledding just in its own division. You still got Lamar Jackson, and don't know what what the Steelers are going to do at the quarterback position, but it's not going to be a cakewalk, and it's no guarantee to get back to this point. So that's a tough, bitter pill to swallow if you're Joe Burrow. And he didn't play his best game, but at the end of the day, they had opportunities to win this football game. And, Burrow, I thought he missed the running back, Chris Evans, early in the game on a nice little concept that they ran, a little rail ride up the sideline. And he had the matchup that he wanted, and his running back had a couple steps, and he just overshot him. I just didn't think this was Burrow's best game. I didn't think his decision making was the best. I didn't think that he was as accurate as we've seen him in the past. But they had opportunities. They had opportunities, and they just simply weren't able to get it done. So let's get to the comment section and see what you guys have to say about this game real quick. If you're out there, you want to have your comment read, use the hashtag LouieTLive. You want to jump to the front of the line, you know that super chats are the way to do it. So I got one super chat real quick that we will read, and it comes from my guy Twin D. Thank you for the super chat, Twin D. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you, Bryce. I'm just happy for Matthew Stafford. I argued so much with other Washington fans about not wanting him because of his lack of toughness and being turnover prone. That's a number one QB. And that's what I've been trying to tell people is that, he led the league in interceptions this year, this, that, and the third. But Matthew Stafford is tough as nails, okay? And we knew that from his Detroit days. I said this guy was one of the better and more prolific passers in the league throughout his career. And he's essentially been held hostage in Detroit for the last decade. And I said, now that he's free, you're going to see what Matthew Stafford is fully capable of. I was dying to see him be put in some of these situations that he was put in this postseason because he hasn't really been in these types of situations in Detroit. He's been a bunch of high leverage situations in Detroit in the regular season, and he's come through a lot of times for the Lions. The Lions fans will tell you, a lot of times when they were down in games and Matthew Stafford had the football, they felt like they had a chance to win because Stafford was really clutch in those situations. But, the postseason wasn't an opportunity that Matthew Stafford had a lot of throughout his career. And this was what I wanted to see from him. What happens when, the game is tied and you're going up against Tom Brady one-on-one? Can you find a way to make it happen? And he did that. All right, now you're in the NFC Championship game, and your team needs you. You're trailing in the fourth quarter. Try to throw an interception, and the 49ers safety drop the football. All right, you got a second lease on life. What are you going to do with it? And he takes him down the field, gets him into the end zone, and they win that football game. And then get to the Super Bowl. Okay, here it is. Defense is giving you an opportunity. They're giving you so many great opportunities with tremendous field position, and you've squandered each and every single one of them. Stafford looked off in the second half. He had the bum ankle. He missed Koronic on a third down when he was open. Didn't look sharp. And here it is. And I told my dad, this is the drive that's going to define Matthew Stafford's career. And I said, I expect him to take him down the field and win because unlike a lot of people who didn't trust Matthew Stafford, I did. And so I wanted to see if he was going to prove me right or if he was going to make me look like a damn fool. And sure enough, he took him down the field. It took one fourth down conversion. Cooper Kupp was outstanding on that one with the cutback off the nice block there by the tight end. He was able to pick up the first down, and from there, Stafford was just surgical, making all the right decisions, all the right throws. He missed Van Jefferson, and if they don't score and they lose this game, with Van Jefferson wide ass open in the back of the end zone, and he overshot him by a good 4 yards. That's the throw everybody comes back to and says Matthew Stafford stinks, and this is why. But as fate would have it, you could argue he got a nice little gift from the officials. I thought the flag happened with Jermaine Pratt, the play prior against Henderson out of the backfield. He was molesting Henderson. They didn't call anything. I thought they could have thrown the flag there. They decided not to, which was fine because that was the way the game had been called all game long. And then the very next play, I thought it was really ticky-tack on Logan Wilson. But it is what it is, ultimately, Matthew Stafford makes the plays, get him into that position, and then makes the touchdown throw to Cooper Kupp. It ultimately ended up being the game-winning throw. So I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. I think I'm happiest for him of all the players that are going to find themselves being a Super Bowl champion for the first time. I think I'm the most happiest for Matthew Stafford and what this does for his legacy, because you had people already saying if Joe Burrow wins this Super Bowl, is he the best quarterback in the league? I just wasn't ready to have that conversation. I love me some Joe Burrow. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league. There were too many people that were ready to crown him the best quarterback in the league should he have won the Lombardi in this game. So I needed them to kind of calm down and chill a little bit. Just calm down, simmer down now. And so I think this is going to kind of put a little bit of, frost on that conversation. Or as a wise man once said, that'll cool your ass off. I think that'll cool everyone off a little bit. Not that Joe Burrow isn't deserving of praise, and he's a top flight quarterback. He's top 5, maybe even top 3 in the league right now. However, I think it's premature to put him at the very top of the pecking order. So happy for Stafford, and we'll see what happens with the Bengals now. And the Super Bowl hangover is real. When you don't win the Super Bowl, that next year, shit gets tough. All right, it's real. Okay, so I'm dying to see what happens with this Bengals team and how they bounce back. If they come back a more determined team, laser-like focus, okay, we've been there, done that. We're no longer the underdogs. No one's doubting us anymore. Everyone knows we're a good team, knows how good Joe Burrow is. Can they start to do this consistently? People, I marvel at what the Chiefs do, because it's so hard in this league when everybody knows you're good and they're getting up for you and you're getting their best shot every week to come out and play the kind of ball that the Chiefs play. I think that is impressive. And now I want to see if the Bengals can handle that mantle and the pressure that comes with that. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but really happy for Matthew Stafford as well. Thank you for the super chat. Twin D. Got a comment here. Let's get to the comment section and see. First of all, let me say this about the commercials. While I'm scrolling looking for the next comment, the commercials were awful. This is one of the worst Super Bowl commercial years I've ever seen, and there have been some stinky ones. Man. There have been some years where I'm like, man, the commercials were awful. This one takes the cake, though. I mean, I can't think of one memorable commercial. There were maybe 2 that I was like, that was okay, or that was cute. Well, you might have got a out of me, but the commercials I thought were really dry, and I'm like, you spent how much for that? It was pretty bad. I didn't have one commercial that I said, okay, at least that one was. There wasn't really one for me. Let's take a look at the comment section, and I'm messing up. I just got rid of the damn stream. Now I got to pull it back up so I can get in here and look at the rest of these comments. So yeah, like I said, needless to say, the commercials were terrible, straight up. All right, let's see. Damn, I lost all of those comments that were here earlier because it started over. I'm sorry to anybody that left a comment. I'm sorry. I apologize because I hit the X button. It got rid of the stream, and you knew it was gonna be janky. I'm not in my office, so you knew this was gonna be a janky stream. But like I said, I wanted to come on. I know it probably looked like a hostage video. My mom's Wi-Fi is terrible. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. No, I knew this was gonna look terrible. And then the fact that my webcam didn't work on my computer, and I'm like, Lord, I gotta do this on my mobile device. This is terrible. I apologize. So I want to apologize again to anyone that used the hashtag. And I was about to get to the comment section, and like 2/3 of the comments got erased. So here we go. Let's see. Sammy J12 writes, all the people saying rigged must have forgot Jaylen Ramsey almost got his head twisted off. Look, this is everyone's. If things don't go your way, it's one of 2 things that people are going to say. They cheated or it's rigged. And everyone's favorite thing to say when it doesn't go their way, the NFL is rigged. I don't even respond to those because, the NFL doesn't have a dog in the fight this year. It'd be one thing if it were Tom Brady or some, big time quarterback and you're like, they really wanted this guy to win. They don't have a dog in the fight. It probably would be in the best interest of the league if the Cincinnati Bengals won this game, if you want to be honest. Because now you're crowning a new star in Joe Burrow, and you can market the league just like you've seen this uptick in Patrick Mahomes, and the interest in the league is at its all-time high. You saw the prices for this Super Bowl. Like, if Joe Burrow and the swag that he's been playing with and on and off the field, that's the story. So if there were any team the NFL were backing, it'd be Cincinnati, not this Rams team. So yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, the Jaylen Ramsey play, that's the thing I go back to. When anybody tries to say, oh my God, they cheated the Bengals, I'm like, it's kind of even. That's what the football gods usually do, is they even out the playing field. You got one, they got one. Let's just wash our hands. Both led the touchdowns. Let's just wash our hands and call it a day. We take away your touchdown, we take away their touchdown, they still win the game. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, I think it kind of was, I thought the game was well officiated, and the Bengals had opportunities offensively and defensively to make plays, and they just didn't make enough, and they didn't win the game. Let's see. Got another super chat. This one is from Kevin, the PRF. Thank you for the super chat, Kevin, the PRF. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, move over Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray to the Commanders. I just wanted to be first. May the super chats commence. I can tell you this. I want no parts of Kyler Murray. I'm going to say this, and we'll talk about this at another date and time. This is not the place for this, but Kyler Murray has some bitch assness in him, and it's starting to show. And I talked about this before with him. Remember, I brought this up on the podcast that he's a guy that I think suffers from lack of leadership qualities. You're starting to see that with Kyler Murray. I remember the way he handled the whole playing baseball thing, and when he was getting drafted, and his dad he had that awkward interview with Dan Patrick, and his dad was trying to handle everything, and there's some sketchiness. Like, he gives me Robert Griffin III vibe, just a tad bit. He's not, I don't think, as egotistical as Robert Griffin III, but he's starting to give me some of those vibes. He's one of those guys. He's a super talent. I don't know if I want him anywhere near my team, though. So that's another conversation for another day. Trevor Patch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Trevor Patch says, boss still allowing that big old sticker to stay up behind you. Beautiful. I always look for it when you are, he said, when you are there, live from there. He says, Stafford, Hall of Famer, justified. He has no choice. He could take the sticker down, but and there's actually two of those stickers if you see the other one on the other wall that I'm in front of, and then there's one here that I am behind. So there's actually, a big Redskin fathead on each of the walls in this room, but he's not taking it down. I mean, he's had ample opportunity since I moved out eons ago to take it down. He never had it. So he's never in this room, so I don't think it really bothers him all that much. But Stafford, a Hall of Famer. I told you guys that I thought he was a borderline Hall of Famer just with his numbers. Like, had he never gotten out of Detroit, played another 5 to 7 years in Detroit, he would be top 5, top 3 in just about every statistical category, passing wise. But he'd have nothing to show for it in terms of winning. And that would have garnered a conversation of whether he's a Hall of Famer. I think at this point, with this Super Bowl ring and the numbers that he's put up throughout his career, by the time he's done, Matthew Stafford will in fact be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yes, I think this pretty much puts him in that rarefied air of a guy. Like, just think about it this way: with this Super Bowl win, he now has the same amount of Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. I mean, that just, to me, says all that you need to hear. Like, that one Super Bowl with the numbers that he's already compiled, and I know there's a lot of people, he's a stat stuffer, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, Matthew Stafford's got a ton of numbers to back up his talent, and now this Super Bowl ring kind of validates his ability to get it done. And there were some clutch situations this postseason. He got it done. So I think now, and again, his story is not done. Like, he hasn't written the final chapter of his career. There's more left. There are a lot of blank pages left in his book. And I think by the time he's done, he will in fact be a Hall of Famer. Like, you don't have to make that declaration today, but I think he's trending in the direction of Hall of Fame. I think he's getting in now after this Super Bowl win. But They're still 5, and they're talking about an extension for Matthew Stafford. That came out earlier today. He's going to sign to stay in LA. They could win another Super Bowl. Who knows? Aaron Donald's talking about retirement. I don't know if he's going to, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they've got a really good team. They're going to get Robert Woods back next year. I don't know if they'll bring back Odell Beckham Jr. after this. I mean, you're probably talking about him missing a good chunk of next year, if that is in fact his ACL, because you got to think about it. It's February. That's a 6-month injury minimum. Let's talk about August before he'll even really be in a position where we can even have a conversation. Who knows? I think he has to start the season on the PUP list minimum if he's to come back. But then again, I just watched a guy tear his Achilles in August or July. I think it was July. And then I watched him play in a regular season game in late December, January. So anything can happen. So we'll see. Thank you for the super chat, Trevor, Patch. DCJ, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. DCJ writes, no knock on Cup, but Donald should be MVP. I think Cooper Kupp honestly should be the MVP of this game. And if it wasn't Cooper Kupp, then it should be Aaron Donald. Those were my two candidates. I didn't think anybody else deserved. Definitely wasn't Matthew Stafford. But I felt like Cooper Kupp made all of the plays in this game to ultimately give him a chance to win. He had their only 2 touchdowns of the game. They were both on the shoulders and in between the 10 fingers of Cooper Kupp. The biggest 4th down of the game that was achieved and converted was Cooper Kupp's. For the Rams at least, the Bengals had a number of 4th downs that were huge that they didn't get, including the final one where Aaron Donald was able to get to Joe Burrow. But if I'm, the decision maker there, Cooper Kupp is the reason the Rams won this football game. With no Odell Beckham Jr., with no Tyler Higbee, with nobody else stepping up other than, their 18th string tight end and Bryson Hopkins. Cooper Kupp got all the attention and still went out and did what Cooper Kupp did all season long, and that's just ball. I think he ultimately should have been the MVP. And if he did get it, that's who deserved to be the MVP. Let's get to the comment section and let's see. Let's see. HHC Lunar says Aaron Donald equals gold jacket without question. If he retired right now, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest players to ever play in NFL history. Not the greatest defensive lineman or interior defensive tackle. One of the best players. Like, there's the conversation for me, and this is the conversation that a lot of people don't like to have, because in a lot of people's mind defensively, Lawrence Taylor is the equivalent of Michael Jordan in the NBA. Can't be, and a lot of people look at Jim Brown as like the GOAT of the NFL, but there are a lot of people that say it's Lawrence Taylor. If you're talking defensive player in NFL history, the best defensive player, it's Lawrence Taylor, and they don't want to even have a discussion. For me, it's Aaron Donald, and I know what Lawrence Taylor was, and I know he changed the game, but I look at Aaron Donald, and what he's done in his career, I marvel at, because the thing about guys like Lawrence Taylor, and I get it. And it's not, and I shouldn't be having this conversation. But the thing about Lawrence Taylor, similar to Michael Parsons for me, is you can move those guys around. It's hard to account for where Lawrence Taylor was going to be, and that's an advantage for Lawrence Taylor. He could be coming up the A gap. He could be rushing off the edge. He could be rushing from the left side, the right side. They could stack him behind the defensive end and then blitz him inside or outside. Like, there's so much you can do with a guy like Lawrence Taylor because of his ability to move around, whereas Aaron Donald is a defensive tackle that's damn near 300 pounds. There ain't so much they could do with him. He's either going to be an inside as a one-tech, or he's going to be, and at times they would move him outside so that he can rush and they can overload that side so to get a one-on-one matchup. But there's not, Aaron Donald's not standing as a two-tech and rushing, in an overload blitz. Like, Aaron Donald is a defensive lineman and an interior one at that. So it's so much easier to double team a guy on the inside, because all the center has to do, if there's no one occupying him, is just come over and double team. And the man is getting like 20 sacks a season. Like, what he's been able to do throughout his career is bonkers. And so without question? Is this man a Hall of Famer? What kind of question is that? It's gold jacket. And I know you're not asking questions too much thing. You're making a statement, but he's a first ballot, surefire Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Let's see. We got any more super chat? I don't think we do. We don't. Let's get to some more comments and then we'll get out of here. That's all. So, mm, mm, um, HHC Lunar, right? Brennan Hargrave's running on the field. What are you doing? You're inactive. I know you're excited. Get your ass down. Wait till Pat Mandy said, best commercial is very much. I think there were commercials that Craig Smith, there's a lot of hate for Eli Apple. Okay. He gave him a couple of plays that Eli Apple is actually really good for him. And he's an easy guy to really. His mama has a loud mouth. He has a loud mouth. And, they're not bashful about bashing people who would bash them. So they rub people the wrong way, and it's easy to root against them. But at the end of the day, all right. So you know what's going on with the sound? Like I said, this was going to be janky from the jump because of my situation, my setup, and the fact that I didn't have a computer that was able to work. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and end this stream because it's getting pretty bad. And if I don't have any sound, then what's the point of me even doing the stream, right? So congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams, whether you can hear me or not. What a season. And a lot